Okay, today we're going to do page 5, writing linear equations in slope-intercept form. Page 5, writing linear equations in slope-intercept form. We're writing linear equations in slope-intercept form. Remember, linear equations, the smaller word in linear is line. A linear equation are equations that graph straight lines. Linear equations are equations that graph straight lines. And straight lines look like this. These equations, the equation may graph a line that goes down, which has a negative slope. An equation may graph a line that is going up, which means that line has a positive slope. An equation may graph a line that is flat, which means it has zero slope. Let me put my tick marks here. Or an equation may also graph a line that is vertical, straight up and down, and it has undefined slope. All right. And these are just rough draft pictures. These are what equations can look like. These are the different ways or different views of a linear equation. Lines that go up, lines that go down, lines that are flat, lines that are vertical, horizontal and vertical lines. All of these are linear equations because they are straight lines. I'm going to pause so you can write. Okay, good people? The slope-intercept form that you would write the equation for these lines in looks like this. And we talked about this in the last video. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. This is just one way out of the many ways that an equation can be written in, where m and b are numbers. The number for m is called the slope or rate of change. Your number for b is called the y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis. We got a question in the chat. I'm going to pause the video. Steps to writing linear equations. Steps to writing linear equations. Got 3 steps to writing a linear equation. 3. The first step to writing a linear equation in slope-intercept form. So my screen was dragging a little bit. Sorry about that, y'all. The first step is to find the slope. Find the slope or rate of change. Remember, slope and rate of change are synonyms. The letter for slope is m. The letter for slope is m. There are 2 ways that you can find or calculate slope. One of them is by saying m is equal to rise over run. That's one of the formulas. The other formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is the other formula for calculating slope. I'm going to pause so you can write. All right, so number 2. Number 2, the second step is going to be to find the y-intercept. Okay, find the y-intercept. This is where the line crosses the y-axis, and the letter for y-intercept is B. The letter for y-intercept is B. Now, how do you do that? How do you find B if B is not given? I'm going to put this in parentheses. What you do is you use the y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form, substitute all the information that's given, and solve for b. You solve for b, okay? And you'll understand that more as we do a problem where b is not given. You'll understand that more. The last step, number 3, is that you're going to take your slope and your y-intercept and plug it into the slope-intercept form. So lastly, all you're doing is substituting. You substitute slope, with the letter that represents slope is m. I'm going to put the and symbol, y-intercept, and the letter for y-intercept is b into the slope-intercept form. And again, the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Slope, y-intercept. All you're doing is substituting those values in. And voila, you have an equation. Okay, so we're going to do some examples. And then I'm going to show you how to do the independent practice problems. All right, so your first type of problems that we're doing, we're going to be writing, or is to write the linear equation. We're going to use the steps that we just wrote to do this. So we'll write the linear equation given slope and y-intercept. And we're going to write it in slope-intercept form. Okay? I'm going to pause so you can write. We'll do some quick examples. All right, so number 1, let's suppose that they give you a slope and they tell you that the slope, or m, is equal to 5 and the y-intercept, or b, is equal to -7. And you have to write this as a linear equation. So to write this as a linear equation, you write this in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, and you're going to substitute m and b into this form. Your m is 5, so you're going to put 5 here, and your b is -7, so you're going to put -7 here. So your equation is going to be y is equal to 5 for m, bring down the x, and b is negative, so we write -7. And this is our answer here. Any questions about how I did that? All you do, since they give you m and they give you b, you don't have to find them, they give them to you. You just plug them in. Any questions about that? All right, so here we go. Number 2. Let's suppose they give you m is equal to 1/2, and b is equal to 16. Make sure I write this correctly so you can read it. And you're writing this as a linear equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So all you're doing is substituting your m and your b, because m and b are both given. So all you're doing is substituting. So my answer for this equation is going to be y is equal to 1/2 for m, x, and x either goes on top as the numerator or out to the side, but not on the bottom. Please do not put x on the bottom as a denominator, or it's not going to be linear anymore. So it's either as a numerator or out to the side. Plus, because this is a positive, 16. So this is your answer for number 2. This is the equation. See if you can do number 3 on your own. M is equal to -2. B is equal to 1/3. I'm going to do 4 and 5. See if you can try these as well. M is equal to 16 over 17. B is equal to a negative 3. For number 5, let's do B is equal to a negative 10. And M is equal to 7. Now I'm going to pause for the calls here. See if you can do these on your own. Okay, these are the answers. Okay, so now we're going to do independent practice. Okay. All right, with your independent practice problems, we're finding x and y intercept. We're finding the x and y intercept. Okay. When we're finding the x-intercept, I'm going to do that one first. That means where does the line cross the x-axis? This, of course, is the x-axis here. Okay. If the line crosses right here on the x-axis, this ordered pair is 2, 0. If it crosses over here at the x-axis, this ordered pair is 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. This point is negative 1, 0. This point is negative 3, 0. What do all of these ordered pairs have in common? What do, okay, very good. The y coordinate is 0. So y coordinate is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0 if it crosses the x-axis. All right, let's look at y intercept. Okay, so that means that's where, sorry, this is where the equation will cross, or the line will cross the y-axis instead. So if it crosses right here, it crosses at 0, 1. If it crosses 1, 2, 3, let's do right here 4. That's 0, 4. Down here would be 0, negative 2. And if it crosses here, 0, negative 4. So what do all of these ordered pairs have in common when it crosses the y-axis? What do all of these ordered pairs have in common? Very good. The x-coordinates are all 0. So x is equal to 0. And I'm going to label this as y-axis here. Any questions about this logic? So now we're going to apply this logic to the problems that you have to do in your independent practice. Number 1, you have 4x plus y is equal to 5, and you have to find the x and the y intercept. So I'm going to abbreviate and put x-intercept here, y-intercept here. So to find, please make sure that you're listening. You can write it down later. To find your x-intercept, your y is equal to 0. To find your y-intercept, your x is equal to 0. Any questions about the logic so far? So what I'm going to do here is rewrite the equation. 4x plus y is equal to 5. And I'm going to plug in 0 for y. So this gives me 4x plus 0 is equal to 5. And so in order to solve for x, this is gone. In order to solve for x, or my x-intercept, to get x by itself here, we divide both sides by 4. And this gives me x is equal to 5 over 4. This is my x-intercept. My ordered pair, my x coordinate again is 5 over 4. My y coordinate, remember if it crosses the x-axis, my y is 0. Any questions about that? So you might see the answer written this way, or you might see the answer written as an ordered pair. Any questions about that? Okay. Let's look at the y-intercept. I'm going to rewrite the equation again. I'm going to substitute 0 for x this time. 4 times 0 plus y. 4 times 0 is going to be 0, so all I'm left with is y on this side is equal to 5. So my y-intercept is 5. The ordered pair, x, y. X again is 0, and y is 5. So you're either going to see your answer written as your y-intercept is equal to 5, or b is equal to 5. That's your y-intercept. Or you might see it written as an ordered pair. Questions about that?